taking blighted properties and doing something attractive and useful is a benefit to the entire neighborhood and the community, and it increases property values, it increases the pride in the neighborhood and the sense of community.
It increases the potential for people to come in and invest in your community, and especially businesses. You know, they like to come in where there's good schools, and they like to come into good neighborhoods. Blight is a drag on all of that. And once you get rid of the blighted properties, it has an effect that everybody then starts to improve their properties.
Land banks are still relatively new in Pennsylvania. They've been around. The first land bank was formed in 2013, so the oldest is 6 years old. When you look at the inventory of properties acquired by the Lackawanna County Land Bank, it's really impressive. Again, the number of properties and the extent not only to which they've been able to acquire properties, but dispose of those properties, sell those properties, because that's really where the land bank adds value, is in seeing those properties return to the tax rolls and productive uses.
What the land bank had to achieve in order to be effective in its work is an agreement with the taxing authorities. And in the case of the city of Scranton, it had to be an agreement between the city of Scranton, the school district, and the county, the three taxing authorities that overlay on that municipality. And having those taxing authorities agree that under the proper circumstances, with proper deliberation, they could forgive tax liens and the entanglements that those tax liens create relative to the transfer of property. That's a big deal when the taxing authorities realize the value of relieving a lien that may never be satisfied in order to put the property back into the land bank's hand in order for it to be repurposed and hopefully to be producing taxes again.
Once a property goes through a judicial sale and it's not sold, it goes through what they call, it goes to a repository of unsold property. And it'll sit there until it's sold. So once it's on that list, an adjacent property owner or anyone can come into the land bank and acquire that property either through the Tax Claim Bureau or through the land bank. But if they come through the land bank, they can get it at a reduced cost.
The price was a factor because I knew that it was going to take quite a bit to get the house back to where it should be. So the land bank made it feasible where one could rehab the property. The land bank was very good. It was very easy. They have a website which shows all of the properties that are available. And you have to contact their office and fill out some paperwork, which is standard. And then the procedure would start. And once it was very, very easy as far as they made things very doable for someone to purchase a property.
A property that has been off the tax rolls, obviously we want that to go back on the tax rolls and generate income for the municipality. But we're also focused on the highest and best use of those properties in those areas. And sometimes that may mean going to a developer or maybe going to another agency that is going to do something good with that property that is, that's out there. And so at times we have to take a step back and say, what's best for the neighborhood? What's best for the community as a whole? And how can we use that property in a way or get that back into productive use that's really the best use for that property in the community?
One of our greatest challenges in creating new affordable housing is the acquisition process and obtaining the deeds to these properties. Working through the land bank was clean, easy. It essentially strips away all of that difficult red tape that sometimes gets in the way of purchasing and renovating properties.
It just streamlines the process so much, getting those properties that are now abandoned or blighted and not paying taxes into the hands of property owners. We find it to be such a very, very easy process, and the land bank officials are very easy to work with. It's been nothing but a win-win for us.
Obviously, the number one benefit is tax collection. Any dollar we can find anywhere, we are happy and very grateful to have. But I think unique to the school district, I think of it also as a safety initiative. We have young children walking to schools, traversing areas that might be a little bit precarious for them, and to have, many of these properties have been being maintained at some level by the homeowners. But some of them, they didn't have that opportunity. So to think that these places are cleaned up, they are maintained, they might be lit, there's a safety component to all of this too.
This is a land bank that's been around now for several years and has acquired, as I said, nearly 200 properties and disposed of over 100 of those properties. That's pretty impressive.
Every community has at least one problem with blight. There's nobody that's immune from it. So we have finally created an arrangement, an agency that's well governed, and it is well focused on trying to deal with those very difficult circumstances of blight in our community.
The land bank just presents an opportunity to work in different ways, and it removes a lot of barriers that we had in the past to doing our work in neighborhoods.
It's an opportunity to instill some pride, and for a homeowner to feel that they've not only increased the value of their property, which certainly is a personal positive, but has been a part of something larger. I think that's very satisfying.
The whole idea of the land bank and getting involved in the land bank is to improve the quality of life in our communities.